problem.
See, Honorable Minister, the question that Kinsley actually asked is apt, because if you look at our nation, historically speaking, and with respect to some gigantic projects in this country that would have turned things around for us, agreements and disagreements or arbitration or what have you, have always stalled the movement. Think of Ajakuta State Complex. The same kind of issues coming up. A state complex that would have catapulted Nigeria, above every other African nation in terms of steel production, is being stalled based on such agreements. That's number one. Railway projects did not just start now. It started from the military regimes of Babangida, Abacha, and what have you. And this issue of agreements not well tailored, still is lingering on. And it is only this government from now that is even correcting those anomalies that has happened. And now this one that we're talking about, where Nigeria has now been threatened, in terms of our existence has been threatened financially, if you ask me. Now, like Kinsley asked you, moving forward or going forward, the current administration, of course, is faced with the myriad, of such agreements that were not properly, handled in the past. What is the way going forward in terms of tackling all of this for us to, of course, see a better future as time goes on?
I think we need more patriotic, committed leadership, political leadership. Because at the end of the day, a minister could decide to ignore all reasonable advice if it's self-centered and unpatriotic. So it again boils down to leadership. And that's why I think Nigeria is lucky that today we have a leader whose patriotism and dedication to Nigeria is not challenged even by his worst enemies, and is the beacon all ministers follow. So I think if we can establish this for the next 4 years, we would have been able to lay a solid foundation that would be impossible or difficult for any other successor to actually pull it down. So it's actually about, leadership.
In the current administration, sorry, Kinsley, in this administration, is there any limit to where a minister can take a decision that will be binding on the entire nation? Because from what you have unearthed, with concern to this 9.6 billion, it does seem that some persons, may have wielded their power.
I'm afraid that this went beyond minister. It was signed. I think it was signed by the highest echelon of government. This particular one. Okay. Because by the time you have this kind of sovereign. This was a contract between the federal petroleum resources and PID and ID, and it had to do with our gas. I don't think it was just something that we stop at the level of the minister. No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Well.